There is nothing more dangerous than animosity. It is anger that breeds this. Anger. We have all experienced it to a certain degree at some point in our lives. No matter how it shows up, it usually does not show our best side. The stoic philosopher Lucius Annaeus Seneca expressed various thoughts on this particular emotion in his essay on anger. Just like his essays on the shortness of life and on tranquility of mind, On Anger is a timeless essay that is very much relevant today and gives us an insight into the nature of anger, how to avoid and best detach ourselves from anger, and how to successfully manage it. The essay is actually addressed to his elder brother, Novatus, and begins as follows. I shall now try to do what you have particularly desired, Novatus, to expel anger from the mind, or at least to rein it in and check its violence. This should be done sometimes openly and plainly, when a less serious attack of the evil permits, sometimes secretly, when it burns too fiercely and every obstacle intensifies and increases it. It depends on how much strength and energy it has, whether we should beat it back and force its withdrawal, or should give way to it until the initial storm has spent its fury, in case it carries off with it the very means of effecting a cure. From these opening lines, it is clear to us that Novatus sought advice from Seneca on how to deal with anger. And with that in mind, let us dive into the first topic. Nature of anger. We must first of all prove how loathsome and savage a thing anger is, and set before the eyes what a monster a man is when he rages against another man, with what violence he rushes on to wreak destruction, while bringing it on himself, and seeks to wreck what can only be sunk if he too sinks in the process. Seneca believed that anger is by far the most dangerous emotion experienced by humans. He thought that compared to other passions, anger had the ability to take over an individual extremely fast, and while other emotions could make individuals unstable, anger can make people downright insane. Perhaps it's no coincidence that the idiom "going mad" means to become insane. He also argued that while other emotions might recede on their own, anger gets stronger and more out of control unless we try to actively take hold of it. Even if a man may not resist his passions, yet at least his passions themselves may cease. Anger intensifies its force more and more, like lightning and hurricanes and all other phenomena beyond control, as they do not simply move, but fall. Other vices revolt from good sense, this one from sanity. The others come upon us gently and grow without our noticing. The mind plunges into anger. Not only does Seneca believe that anger has the power to take hold of individuals swiftly and more intensely than other passions, he states that anger also has the ability to take over a very large group of people, unlike other emotions that affect smaller groups of people. He strongly believes that anger can consume a whole city or state if left uncontrolled. Let us examine Seneca's own words regarding this. Lack of self-restraint does not afflict a whole people. Often they rush to anger in one mass. Men and women, old men and boys, the nobility and the rabble are in accord, and the whole crowd, spurred on by a handful of words, succumbs to a greater passion than the one who spurred them on. They rush at once to weapons and firebrands, declaring war on their neighbors or waging it against fellow citizens. Entire houses are consumed by fire, root and branch, and the man who was lately admired for his eloquence and held in high esteem is now the victim of his own followers' anger. Legions hurl javelins at their own commander. All the common people are at odds with the nobility. The Senate, that takes counsel for the state, does not wait to levy troops or appoint a commander, but chooses extempore leaders to realize its anger and hunting down its noble victims through the houses of the city enacts punishment by its own hand. International law is broken, and embassies treated with outrage, and a madness beyond words sweeps away the state, with no time allowed to let the public tumult subside, as fleets are launched at once and loaded with riotous troops. With no customary preparation, no omens taken, the people, led by their anger, go forth, wielding as weapons whatever they have snatched up as chance provided, until a great disaster makes them atone for the rash boldness of their anger. From this fairly lengthy paragraph, it's very clear to us that Seneca was thoroughly aware of the damage anger can cause to not just the individual, but the society as a whole. So this is why he set out to write about anger. He wanted Novatus and us readers to take anger very seriously, because out of all the emotions, he firmly believed that anger was the most lethal. Seneca does, however, acknowledge that some thinkers believed that anger has a time and place in people's lives, including the Greek philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle stands as the defender of anger and forbids that it be cut out of us. It is, he says, the spur to virtue, and if the mind is robbed of it, it cannot defend itself and becomes lazy and indifferent to great endeavors. To this perspective, Seneca completely disagrees. In the case of those who give full rein to anger and consider it a proof of strength, who think the opportunity for revenge belongs among the great blessings of great fortune, do you not, then, want me to point out to them that a man who is the prisoner of his own anger, so far from being powerful, cannot even be called free? In order that each man may be the more watchful and keep a careful eye on himself, do you not want me to point out that, though other vile passions affect only the worst sort of men, anger creeps up even on enlightened men who are otherwise sane? Now that we have a crystal clear picture of Seneca's view on anger, let us move on to the next topic. How to avoid and manage anger. Do battle with yourself. If you have the will to conquer anger, it cannot conquer you. Throughout the essay, Seneca shares several different ways we can avoid and handle anger within ourselves and others. One of the methods is knowing our triggers. We are all different and respond differently to certain social situations and interactions, both positive and negative ones. Some of us might find ourselves furious when someone interrupts our work, while others might not mind it so much. Some of us might be able to tolerate unsolicited advice from unintelligent individuals, while others might not. So first, it's useful to know what kind of language or behavior triggers us, and we can work from there. We could design our daily lives so that we flat out avoid triggering instances, or if that proves to be a challenge, we could at least be ready to handle them better, since we are already aware of what bothers us the most. Not knowing our triggers is what we want to avoid. It is an advantage to know one's own illness and to destroy its strength before it has scope to grow. Let us take note of what it is that particularly provokes us. One man is roused by insulting language, another by insulting behavior. This man desires special treatment for his rank, that one for his good looks. This one wishes to be considered a fine gentleman, that one a great scholar. This one cannot bear pride, that one inflexibility. That one does not consider his slaves worthy of his anger. This one is cruel in his own home but mild outside. That one judges it an offense to be put up for office. This one an insult not to be put up. Another point that Seneca brings up is that when a conversation becomes too heated, we must act on it right away to calm both ourselves as well as the other parties involved. He states that it's best to tame the anger early on in the conversation before it is too late. Even those of a harsh and unyielding nature will endure gentle treatment. No creature is fierce and frightening if it is stroked. Whenever a discussion becomes protracted and liable to end in blows, let us put a stop to it at the outset, before it gains strength. Strife feeds itself and makes prisoners of those who dive too deep into it. It is easier to avoid a dispute than to beat a retreat from it. These two ideas, knowing our triggers and being able to cool down an aggressive discussion, what they come down to is having a certain level of self-control. The Stoic philosophers all believed in knowing what we can control and what we cannot control, and focusing on the former instead of the latter. We cannot control what others will do and say, but we most certainly can strive to handle tough situations in a graceful manner. What matters is not how an offense is delivered, but how it is endured, and I fail to see why self-control is difficult, since I know that even tyrants, whose hearts were swollen with the lack of restraint of their privileged position, have suppressed their cruel instincts. Sometimes just having the ability to wait it out can give us more control over our anger. No one keeps himself waiting, and yet the greatest cure for anger is to wait, so that the initial passion it engenders may die down, and the fog that shrouds the mind may subside, or become less thick. As another way to handle anger, Seneca briefly mentions how art and music can soothe our minds. The mind should not occupy itself with hard tasks, but should be given over to pleasurable arts. Let it be calmed by reading poetry and charmed by the tales of history. Let it be treated with a measure of gentleness and refinement. Pythagoras would bring peace to his troubled spirit with the lyre, and who is unaware that the bugle and trumpet stir the mind, just as certain songs have a soothing effect that relaxes the mind? Disordered eyes find benefit in green objects, and weak sight finds certain colors restful but others dazzling, and therefore blinding. In this way, pleasant pursuits prove a balm to the troubled mind. Exposing ourselves to beauty and pleasant entertainment can help us from being easily angered and remain calm during challenging times. And on the flip side, we shouldn't expose ourselves to things that will make us angry and frustrated. Seneca echoes this sentiment as well, telling us that we shouldn't seek reasons to be angry at something. Anger often comes to us, but more often we come to it. Never should we summon it, even when it falls on us. It should be cast off. Today, there are many people among us who are nearly addicted to outrage media, the type of journalism that is specifically designed to present viewpoints on incidents in a way that stirs strong emotional reactions and outrage among the viewers. By consuming this type of media on a regular basis, people are unconsciously seeking reasons to be angry. They are coming to anger rather than the other way around. They are summoning anger themselves. Seneca would be gravely disappointed in us if he found out we were consuming outrage media or the like. So far, we have covered several ideas on handling anger. But out of all the strategies and tips mentioned by Seneca, Perhaps the next two have the most long-term impact: choosing friends wisely and meditating on mortality. Choosing friends wisely. Seneca hit on this topic in his essay on tranquility of mind as well. According to Seneca, surrounding yourself with virtuous and wise friends can significantly contribute to the management of anger. He believed that spending time with individuals who possess admirable qualities and a calm demeanor can serve as a positive influence on our own emotional states. Seneca argued that when we observe our friends' tranquility and equanimity, we become more inclined to imitate their behavior. By associating with individuals who have mastered the art of managing their anger, we can learn from their example and develop similar virtues ourselves. He clearly believed the type of people we surround ourselves with has an enormous impact on our well-being. We should live with a very calm and compliant person, one not at all given to worry or peevishness. We adopt our habits from our associates, and as certain bodily diseases spread to others from contact, so the mind passes on its faults to those nearest. The drunkard draws his fellow drinkers into a love of neat wine. Shameless company perverts even the strong man who has a will of iron. Greed transfers its poison to its neighbors. Choose men who are honest, easygoing, and have self-control, the sort who will not arouse your anger and yet will tolerate it. More useful still will be men who are amenable, kind, and charming, but not to the point of flattery, for those given to anger are offended by fawning agreement. I, at any rate, had a friend who was a good man, but too quick to feel anger, and it was no more safe to flatter him than to abuse him. Meditating on mortality. Seneca believed that meditating on mortality could help individuals manage anger. He emphasized the transitory nature of life and the inevitability of death as key aspects of stoic philosophy, as we have also seen in his essay on the shortness of life. By contemplating the reality of mortality, he argued that we gain a broader perspective on the triviality and fleeting nature of many things that tend to provoke our anger. He believed that recognizing the temporary nature of life allows us to develop a more balanced and rational response to the challenges and frustrations we face on a daily basis. Seneca suggested that when we truly internalize the notion that life is finite and that our time is limited, we become less attached to trivial matters and more focused on what truly matters. In the face of this awareness, the things that might have otherwise triggered anger lose their significance, and we are better able to maintain a sense of mental tranquility. Let us wrap up this video with Seneca's words on anger and mortality. Let us be free of this evil. Let us clear it from our minds and tear it up by its roots, as it will grow again if the slightest traces should linger anywhere. And let us not seek to control our anger, but rid ourselves of it entirely. For what control can be exerted over anything that is evil? Besides, we will succeed in this, if only we exert ourselves, and nothing will help us more in this task than reflecting on our mortality. Let each man say to himself and to his fellow, why do we enjoy proclaiming our anger as though we were born to live forever and squandering our short span of years? Why do we enjoy using days we might spend on honorable pleasure for the purpose of causing some man anguish and torture? The benefits of life are not to be squandered, and you have no excess time for wasting. Why do we rush into conflict? Why do we court troubles? Why do we shoulder the huge burden of hate, forgetting how weak we are, and rise up to break things when we are ourselves so easy to break? Soon, that war of hatred we wage so relentlessly will be cancelled by a fever or some other sickness of the body. Soon, the fiercest pair of fighters will be separated by death. Why do we riot and make havoc of our lives by embracing discord? Fate stands above our heads and numbers our days as they go by, drawing nearer and nearer to us. That hour you mark down for another man's death is perhaps near your own. Why do you not instead gather up your short life and present it in a peaceful state to yourself and to everyone else? Thank you for watching.